A Ugandan politician just said he wants to ban Swahili.
We shall ban Swahili as our national language. We shall ban it. We need French instead. French has a wider coverage. Burundi, they speak French. Congo, they speak French. Rwanda, they speak French. Congo Brazzaville, they speak French. Gabon, they speak French. Central African Republic, they speak French. We don't need Swahili. We need English and French.
Why is this important? It's important because of identity, culture, and unity through language. This proposal of banning a local language in Uganda threatens the very culture and fabric of society. It's hard to believe that this presidential candidate in Uganda, Mubarak Munyagwa, I hope I said his name correctly, has stated that if elected, he's going to ban Swahili from the education system and public life in Uganda and replace it with French. This is not a small proposal. It touches on how we see culture, how we pass knowledge to future generations, and what identity means in modern Africa. Now let's talk about some facts about Swahili and just how widespread and powerful this language already is. Swahili, or Kiswahili, is spoken in more than 14 countries across East and Central Africa. Countries including Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, Comoros, and more. Estimated total of speakers of this as a native language or a second language, it varies a bit, but it usually falls between 60 million up to 150 million people for both native and second language. Some sources claim that it's over 200 million, but whatever it is, there's so many people in so many countries who speak Swahili as their first language. And it is really, really detrimental, especially in regions like Tanzania and parts of Kenya. Swahili is not a niche language. It's a major language in Africa, one that crosses borders, crosses ethnic groups, and even national education systems. Why is preserving and strengthening Swahili so important? Well, here are some of the benefits of strengthening a local, broadly spoken African language like Swahili. Number one, cultural identity and heritage. Language carries stories, values, and history. And losing or undermining the language means losing a way to remember who you are, where you came from, right? Number two, unity in communication. Now, Swahili acts as a language in many parts of East and Central Africa, and it helps people from different ethnic groups to communicate, to trade, to share culture. It's a shared language that unites these people. And taking it away is just ridiculous. Number three, access to education, participation, inclusion. When people can learn in a language that they understand, they actually learn better. Using familiar language in schools means more inclusivity, especially for rural communities and minority communities that may not be fluent in the colonial languages of French and English. Number four, economic opportunity. A common language helps commerce, it helps media, it helps trade, cross-border commerce between these countries that speak the language. It can lower barriers and improve mobility of learners, workers, and entrepreneurs. I'm still so flabbergasted that this guy is even talking about removing the language. Number five, diplomatic and continental integration. Swahili is one of the working languages of the African Union in some respects, or at least it's being promoted as a Pan-African communication. And its strengthening gives it more power to African voices outside of the colonial legacies. Choosing to ban Swahili is basically choosing to diminish a local culture, identity, a history. It's erasing, or at least sidelining, part of who the people are. Replacing it with French brings back colonial dynamics. Remember, French is the language of the colonizers in many African countries. While some countries are even removing French, this guy's talking about banning Swahili. Making a colonial language dominant in public systems is not neutral. It actually brings more baggage again into the system. It sends a message that foreign languages are more valuable than our own African languages. And that breeds self alienation. People begin to see their own languages and cultures as inferior. And that is so problematic. Also, from a practical standpoint, many people in Uganda already speak and understand Swahili. Education systems that ban it could cause a disconnect for so many of the citizens, especially those who are outside of the urban city areas. So it makes no sense. I'm still like in shock when I saw this video online. I still can't believe it. And I hope that there are not people who are agreeing with him to remove Swahili from one of as being a main language in that country. This isn't just about which language is official or taught in schools. It's about who we are as African people and what we value and what message we're sending about our history. You know, I'm not from Uganda, but I think this is so important to preserve the language. We've seen Africans and those in the diaspora who are taking pride in learning their languages, reclaiming them, learning them when they didn't have it as a form of communication because they know it's a sense of identity. Think of the people who were taken away through the transatlantic slave trade who want to reclaim these things. And you want to remove it? I believe that this kind of proposal deserves a lot of scrutiny. People should be asking who benefits, who's losing, what message is he trying to send to the next generation? What do you think? Do you think replacing Swahili with French in Uganda is just about politics, or is it part of a deeper issue of cultural erasure? Let's talk about it in the comments. Please share your opinions in the comments. I want us to have a dialogue about this. So thank you so much for listening to me today talk about this. My name is Ivy Prosper, telling stories from Africa and the African diaspora. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can join my memberships and you can support this channel. Tap a link inside of the description. You can support this channel through Zelle, through PayPal, or simply by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.